Welcome to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. This podcast features powerful hypnosis, so do not listen while driving or operating machinery. This recording is not suitable for those with epilepsy or severe mental health issues. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here, and in today's episode of The Hypnotist, you'll be listening to a hypnosis session that was designed to bring about a feeling of worthiness and acceptance and confidence to start dating again after a very long time and later in life. And this client that I was working with, a female client, was able to get through some very significant life events, was clearly very intelligent, very well educated, and had trouble opening up to the idea of a relationship just based on previous events that were very, very understandable. What you're going to hear in this particular hypnosis session is the idea that she is worthy of the level and quality of relationship that she desired. And certainly the previous relationship was not a desirable relationship at all. So first is the element of worthiness and acceptance. A lot of people sometimes have a never-ending finishing line before they're willing to start something. So sometimes before someone will start a business, they have to keep on acquiring more knowledge before they're in a position to start. So they're constantly studying. In relationships, it can be self-improvement, that in order to attract the person that they want, they have to be better than they are. And it becomes like a mirage. The closer you get, the further away you need to be. And therefore, the beginning of this hypnosis session really is built on the foundation that she's already good enough. And that's an important belief to establish. And also this idea that beauty is subjective, and in the same way that, we evaluate other humans, we don't tend to hold the same thing for other things in nature. We look at a kitten, or we look at a flower, and we look at it through the lens of appreciation, not comparison. And I think that's a useful lens to look at our own lives. No one is perfect, because there is always room for opportunities to grow. But that isn't what's necessary. What's necessary is that you can accept who you are and still have the same drive to work on those flaws and to improve yourself in any way that you can. But what was also necessary for this particular client is that they had the ability to be discerning, that just because they were dating again doesn't mean that they had to jump into any old relationship, and that they could choose who they have conversations with, who they go on dates with, who they stay in a relationship with. And it's designed to be a very empowering session, because generally, if you haven't been in a relationship for, let's say, 5-10 years plus, it's going to be nerve-wracking. And therefore, it's good to feel worthy, to feel confident, to feel that you can choose who you end up being in a relationship with. There's various metaphors, including a hummingbird, a garden, various other things in this session, but at its core, it is designed to instill confidence and make the idea of dating joyful and playful rather than daunting or something to dread. If you feel like you would benefit from more confidence in your life or other resourceful states, there's always a link in the show notes where you can schedule a free consultation call with me. But you might find, whether or not you plan on dating or not, that if you look at this through the lens of self-acceptance and confidence, this could be a useful session anyway. So find a quiet place where you won't be disturbed. relax, and enjoy the session. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe in a resourceful feeling of relaxation. And as you exhale, just allow any feelings of worry or stress or tension to feel like it's leaving your body in your outward breath. Breathing in that wonderful feeling of resourcefulness and giving permission to yourself to just let go. That's it. Scan your body for any feelings of any worry or stress or tension. And the places to look for sometimes are where tension likes to hide. Sometimes tension will hide in the jaw, around the eyelids, in the neck, in the shoulders. And as you breathe in that wonderful feeling of relaxation, allow that relaxation to flow to those very places where tension and stress may be hiding. And when they find that stress or tension, they allow it to melt away. And in melting away, you can feel a wave of relaxation and calm wash over those places, enabling you to breathe deeper, feel more relaxed, and to start moving towards a wonderful feeling of calm and tranquility. As you breathe in and breathe out, your imagination awakens. And I want you to use the power of your imagination to imagine that you're standing in front of a brick wall with a wooden door. And accept the idea that this doorway on this brick wall is into a secret garden. Maybe you read the book, The Secret Garden. And even if you didn't, your mind already understands what a secret garden might be like. And just imagine breathing in and breathing out in front of that wooden door. And imagine that you're about to walk into a secret garden. Starting to count 5, just feeling like you're able to pull the handle on that door. 4, start pulling it open. 3, walking through into that garden. 2, closing the door behind you, and then 1, closing the door tightly shut and looking around and finding that you're in a wonderful secret garden filled with flowers. You can smell them, you can see the bright colors. And as you look at a particular flower, you see a wonderful hummingbird. The hummingbird seems to be feeding off the flower. And I want you to get an incredible sense of joy and peace as you see that hummingbird. Almost that the vibration of the wings echoes a new vibration, a new energy within you. A feeling of lightness. The hummingbird is incredibly light. And feel that lightness within you. All those old feelings of heaviness can go away, and you feel lighter, more comfortable, more relaxed. That's it. Deeper and deeper relaxed. And then the hummingbird floats towards you. You hold out your hand and it just perches just for a second. This represents joy. This represents inner joy. And I want you to imagine this hummingbird starts to flap its wings incredibly fast. You can hear the humming sound and feel that that hummingbird is now becoming part of you, finding the place in your body where inner joy would exist. And whenever you picture a hummingbird, whenever you imagine its wings fluttering, you will feel an incredible feeling of lightness and joy right there, perhaps your chest, your heart, maybe even your gut, your head. You decide where your inner joy is for you. And as you accept that, let me know by nodding your head. And notice that you can now explore this secret garden from a position of feeling light and free and joyful. And as you look around this secret garden, I want you to try and find a flower that is worried about the judgment of others. Try and find a flower that feels guilt. Try and find a flower that feels shame. Try and find a rose that doesn't feel good enough. As very quickly you accept the idea that nature only knows acceptance. There can be plants that are not attractive, weeds and long grass, but everything accepts itself for exactly what it is. And sometimes there's plants that look dull and drab, until just the change of a season or the change of the weather, suddenly they bloom and they blossom. And I want you to feel that in your life, this is your phase of blooming and blossoming. That you've done what's needed to be done. You've learned what's needed to be learned. And now you can accept yourself 100%. You are who you are, just like the rose, just like those other flowers. You can accept your beauty, but also accept that not every person likes every flower, and you don't need to be liked by every person. The only person that is important that likes you is yourself. And as you accept and like yourself, notice that you seem to be blooming even more. Because when people carry around their insecurities, they're showing the ugly side of their deficit. But when people accept themselves 100%, that creates a warm, attractive glow around them. And I want you to feel that warm, attractive glow around you. Feel that you are worthy, you are accepting of yourself, and also you are now ready and open to the idea of being in a particular type of relationship. Not any relationship, but the kind of relationship that would enhance your life. Breathe in and breathe out and just explore this magical garden. And there are certain flowers and certain plants that work better in pairs. And I wonder if your unconscious mind is open to the idea of finding a companion that complements your energy, your beauty, your unique characteristics. So breathe in and breathe out, and then imagine somewhere in this secret garden is a window into reality. There's a comfortable chair looking into that reality, and you are able to see your life through the end and perspective of someone else. I want you to see that future version of you being open and receptive to a relationship. But I want you to see someone with high standards, someone discerning, someone with discretion, someone that knows what they want, but also is equally willing and able to know what they don't want. So as you look through that window, through that future version of you, with standards that mean that no matter how attractive you are to someone, for you there are certain immutable standards that need to be met. So I want you to see yourself being approached by a very attractive man. But if they're not single, if they're not spiritual, see you confidently ending the conversation and just moving on. I want you to see that there is an element of judgment, not critical or harsh, but just pragmatic, that if a man of a certain age isn't financially stable, then it probably means he's got things that he needs to work on first. And maybe there's certain clues. The shoes he wears, the clothes he wears, the car he drives, or even the watch he wears. And I want you to see yourself noticing those things. Finding that this is no different from how things used to be. It's just the criteria has changed. There was a time in your life that you valued something above everything else. And now, having someone that is mature, someone that is emotionally available, someone that takes responsibility for their life, all these things perhaps are more important. And notice how quickly you can be discerning of those qualities. Maybe it's a question. Tell me about your last holiday. What kind of investments do you like? Tell me the books you like to read. And in doing so, you can quickly evaluate their intellect, quickly evaluate their character, quickly evaluate their competency, their capabilities, their career success. And this isn't an interrogation, an investigation. You can see yourself through this window being playful and polite, completely respectful, and willing to end a conversation if you feel like it's run its course, just because you feel like it. Perhaps there's certain people that do meet a lot of these criteria. And maybe you do go out on a date, and I want you to see that very first date. And maybe you're evaluating an emotional connection, an attraction, an energy, but also how the conversation flows. Is it easy, or does it require work? Are you able to be comfortable and feel like yourself? What are the quality of their questions? I want you to feel like you can enjoy this experience, but at the same time, you're gathering information. The kind of information that enables you to figure out, could this be the kind of person you would want to see again or for a longer period of time? And maybe you see that version of you asking about their friends or who they go to in times of trouble. Maybe ask them about previous relationships to see, are they taking responsibility or are they defensive? Are they the victim or the accuser? Or are they someone that takes responsibility, that sometimes good things come to an end, and even the end of a relationship is an opportunity to become wiser and make better decisions in the future? And I want you to see this version of you, allowing your intuition to guide you, to help you, to get a sense of, is this the kind of person that you feel a connection with? Could this person be a companion? Someone to carry on their travels with you? And then perhaps I want you to imagine that just one of these dates sooner or later leads to something that there's a desire to see them again. You want to know what they're doing. You actively want to spend more time with them. And likewise they do with you. And then imagine through that same window seeing you perhaps 2 or 3 months into a relationship. See yourself still laughing, dinners together, concerts, maybe relaxing at the beach. And if there's still that same smile, that same energy, that same relaxation, that same affection, then maybe this is a person that could be a longer-term relationship. And if not, at any point in time, you could just decide this isn't the right thing for you and find someone more suitable. You are discerning, you are worthy, and you are fully accepting of yourself. You understand what you bring to the table, and you're looking for someone to not bring the same things to the table, but of equal value, so that both of you are better off with each other than without. And if your unconscious mind accepts that this would be a helpful, useful way to find someone that actually enhances the quality of your life, let me know by nodding your head. And then I want you to look through that same window. And then ask yourself the question, what would have to happen in a relationship for it to no longer be the right type of relationship? Maybe the smiles turn to criticism, insults. Maybe what was appreciated to begin with is then expected or demanded. But I want you to see a strong woman, able that if things change, they can reevaluate, to ask the question, knowing what I now know, would I choose to be in a relationship like this? And at any point in time, they have the ability to think, life is short, my time is so valuable, my energy is so valuable, I need to find someone worthy of that time and energy that enhances my life. And if you can see that empowered, confident woman that at any point in time is willing to leave a situation that no longer serves her, let me know by nodding your head. That's it. And as you see that, you now have reassurance that you are worthy of a relationship, that you're not going to rush into the wrong relationship. You know what to look for it to be the right relationship, and you know when to leave if it ever becomes the wrong relationship. You are empowering your intuition to act as your inner guides, your coaches, to steer you towards the right kind of person and away from the wrong type of person. So if you're hearing those kind of feelings of self-doubt or hesitation, maybe ask a question inwards. What could this mean? I want you to leave the window and explore the garden one final time. And I want you to find a berry tree. Only the berries on this tree are big and bright and strange colours. Each berry has a different resource. And I want you to think of the 3 resources you would need most in this next chapter of your life. Could be any resources. Playfulness, courage, self-belief, maybe freedom, whatever resources you feel like you need most right now. Imagine that there are 3 berries on this bush that represent those very qualities. Decide which quality each berry is before you eat it. But as you eat it, feel a wave of that particular resource or emotion going in through your body, filling you with that feeling. If it's the feeling of playfulness, feel a wave of playfulness go from your head all the way to your toes. If it's discernment, of knowing what's right for your high standards, as you eat the berry, feel a wave of discernment go from your head to your toes. And just enjoy these resources, knowing that you could always return to this secret garden at any point and choose 3 more berries whenever you need them, to give you a wonderful feeling that you will always have the resources you need for this transitional chapter in your life. And then you walk towards that door, but you feel light and you can feel that hummingbird fluttering within you. You feel full of joy and excitement and enthusiasm, looking forward to this wonderful new adventure that is on your life's horizon. So you open the door, you go through the door, you close the door behind you, no longer in that secret garden, and return to where you're sitting right now, listening to my voice, feeling 100% back in the moment as you take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Just wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, feeling 100% integrated in this moment. As I now count from 1 to 10 to awaken you, you will awaken feeling resourceful, motivated, worthy and accepting of yourself, and excited to the possibilities of what happens next. Starting to count. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.
Thank you for listening to The Hypnotist with Adam Cox, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. To automatically receive the latest episodes, please subscribe. If you'd like to support the show, please share this episode with just one friend you think it could help. And if this episode helped you, please leave us a 5-star review.